This is Mark and Charity's Coffee Podcast.
Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast, Thursday, June 15th today. I don't want to freak you out at all.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Okay.
Seeing as it's your podcast and everything.
Yeah. Why? What's going on?
I think this is number 399.
Is it? Let me just check. Now I got to look.
Well, I know that based on yesterday was 398. So.
This is 399.
So
that means tomorrow is 400. Woo woo!
Remember I told you we wouldn't get to 100? 400 tomorrow.
400.
We won't even do 100.
If we get to 1,000.
1,000? No.
We are having a party.
I can't imagine why I stuck around that long. Party. On the show this morning, got off to a great start. Patricia Guernsey was named Guardian Angel of the Children's Foundation for March 2nd's Gala of 2024.
It's the 24th annual.
Is that right?
I believe.
Okay.
It's the 24th annual Guardian Angel Gala.
Good for you that you know that.
Yeah, it was. Yes, I saw that.
If you're not here from the Quinte region, Children's Foundation has every year designated one individual for their philanthropic work, philanthropy, as well as inspiring other people. I mean, the person that just represents. That was a good point. Yeah,
that was a good point you made. It's not just what they've done; it's how they've encouraged or inspired others to give back as well.
It would be tempting to say, let's pick all the rich people. Because then all their rich friends will come and spend money. Because quite often they're the ones, who spend the most. And if you look at it that way as spending the most as opposed to doing. Right, exactly. And being involved.
Yeah.
Yes. And if you have means, however, it is easier for you to get involved and make. So it does go hand in hand, but it's not simply that, which is so wonderful about this. Because I found that the people who tend to win are what I call the most accessible people too. It's not a foundation, although it can be. Of nameless, giving. It's the people who roll up their sleeves and do get involved. Like I've sat around the boards with Patricia Guernsey for the Hospital Foundation and all of that. Ken and Cynthia Schmidt, like they're actually, their hands are getting dirty in the community building this place up.
Well, just to back up again, has a foundation been the Gala Angel?
I believe the Parrott Foundation has one before.
All right.
I know the Rotary Club has, but you talk about shoulder to shoulder, right?
But for as long as I can remember, it's been individuals.
Yeah.
It's been a person or a couple, as you mentioned, Ken and Cynthia. And you're right, Patricia, as she points out, and it's not just the bigger organizations either. It's giving back any way you can.
Right.
That is important.
And that's the other great part about the Children's Foundation. It isn't simply people who give to them. It's looked right across the board. What do you do for the United Way, for the hospitals, for Food for Learning, for, in the case of Patricia, 100 Women Giving.
Yep. Which also had a big night this week, too. Oh,
my gosh, yeah. So, anyway, that's great. So, we had a chance to chat with her. We're going to have more about that on the show tomorrow. So, I was excited about that. And then we'll get into Father's Day before we talk to Jennifer Smith. You want to do that? How do you want to do this?
Yeah, we can do that.
Because we had a lot of fun. Okay, we can't play all the songs.
We can't play any of the songs, unfortunately. Because we'll get in trouble.
Our throwback was songs that remind us of our own fathers. And Money for Nothing by Dire Straits garnered a mere 40 votes of the 101 votes cast. Which makes me a loser.
Louis Armstrong did get a few more votes. But you're not a loser because you shared a wonderful story. And one of your votes came from sharing that story because you made someone cry.
I like that.
And that's what we're about. We're about making people crying.
Yeah, I can.
So
if I can reduce you to a puddle.
In a good way.
I've done my job.
Yes. But it was a fun morning. And we did end up playing Louis Armstrong. And we had put up there because it's not about Mark and I. We focus throwback on us. But we wanted to hear from you as well. What songs reminded you of your dad? And wow, again, the overwhelming response. It was overwhelming. It was incredible, the songs you shared with us. Everything from Don't Fear the Reaper.
Which came out as Don't Feel the Ripper.
Which
is true.
Autocorrect again.
You shouldn't feel the Ripper.
No.
You don't want to.
Feel the Reaper.
Fear the Reaper.
Fear the Reaper. Thank you. Don't feel the Reaper. No, don't do that either. See, even my autocorrect's
There's no touchy on this show.
But King of the Road was on there, The Crystal Chandelier, Daddy's Hands.
Yeah, so there's a lot of old country
one.
songs.
And then Bethany wrote in and she put Shania Twain's Man, I Feel Like a Woman, because she was one of 5 girls in her household. So I bet her dad did feel like a woman from time to time.
You want to spend time.
But she has memories of the 5 of them dancing to that song with him. So that's what it was about. That was what was so nice about it.
A lot of tea parties growing up in that house.
Yeah. But then we asked our own kids.
Yeah.
You asked and it was very funny. Yours were, again, exactly what I think was expected, other than the Air Supply. I wondered if there would be Air Supply mentioned. But your kids came out
so
pretty
said,
good.
Your Smiling Face by James Taylor. Mm-hmm. Andrew said, Whenever You're Ready by James Taylor. And so
because you've mentioned once or twice that you like James Taylor.
And I texted him back, like he didn't grow up with that in the house every day. That I thought it would be any of the other songs. He said, no, those songs too, but that one will always remind me of
See, and that's kind of nice.
So that's kind of good. And then your kids came through in a big way.
It really it's not what I thought they would pick at all.
Yeah. And they're not close.
They're not close.
And that's
at
great
all.
too.
It just shows you the diversity of music we listen to at home. We listen to the range. We listen to like everything. Ben came back with, and I know both these songs have been played in the vehicle, and I've seen Wayne and the kids sing along to it. But Ben thought Alabama's Roll On.
Roll On, right? Roll On,
was the song
Daddy.
that reminds him of his dad.
He's got the big truck. Yeah, for sure.
And Nathan's was Let Me Clear My Throat, which is from the late 80s, early 90s.
Jump.
And I actually have a video of Wayne singing that in the truck, captioned, "This is what happens when we go on road trips."
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised by that one so much. But interesting. It's interesting how music resonates, because as I mentioned yesterday, even Louis Armstrong, What a Wonderful World, my dad had no idea that how I felt about that song towards him.
Right.
Until I got married, because that was the song I picked for us. But he didn't have a clue. He said, I wouldn't have thought that song at all would be something that you would associate with me.
Yeah.
So it was kind of.
He does now, though, right?
Oh, yes, he does now.
So does he talk about the song? Does he?
Not really, no. He knows.
Fun,
like
Charity.
He was listening this morning. He heard it this morning and thanked me and said it was very nice. So he knows, and I think he's just more aware of it now.
Yeah.
And now you will be too with your James Taylor.
Yeah, I could have.
Because you were surprised by Andrews.
Andrews was.
You were surprised by Andrews.
He like in a great surprise. It's like you'd almost have to be paying attention to know that, because it wasn't a hit.
And that's
it's just an album cut.
You wouldn't have thought that would.
Right.
Have resonated with him.
Yeah,
you hope
that one. Yeah,
but the fact that it has.
Yeah, I
kind of makes you feel good. I think.
I probably never would have picked that one.
Yeah,
I would have gone so many other songs that I thought he and I liked together. Like again, Jimmy Eat World. We're both going to see them in concert this summer, so I would have thought it would have been the middle. It's like no, because I was a kid and that album came out, and I liked that song, and you loved that song, and so we would play it. I have no memory of that, but. He does.
But he does. So clearly it resonated for him.
That's Father's Day for you.
Exactly.
Which is why it's so hard to buy for Dad. Or is it? A necktie is still the most popular Father's Day gift, not the most desired. Just the most popular, according to a recent poll that came out. Dad does not want another tie. In fact, only 19% of dads want clothing or apparel at all for Father's Day. 1 in 5. 64% of dads said they do not want anything with World's Best Dad on it.
Which is disappointing.
Does mean 36% don't mind, so it's a third.
All right.
Third don't mind if you put it on what? A beer stein? Coffee mug? T-shirt?
T-shirt, hat.
Barbecue apron?
Maybe.
So what is it that dads want? You are better off getting him a cool family experience, like a sporting event. Like last year, you guys went to the Blue Jay game, right? Wasn't that Father's Day?
With Wayne, yes. That was his
That's what you got for Father's Day.
Yep.
Time alone. 38% of dads say time alone. Most of the dad polled say if dinner included a meal with the entire family and all the kids, is that good? 71%.
Absolutely.
Absolutely want them all there. Also a good way to figure out what your dad may want is to know how he self-identifies. So what kind of a dad are you? If dad says, well, I'm an outdoor adventurer, get him something outdoor adventure-y.
Obviously, yes.
21% of the dads consider themselves home organizers. Get him a shelf. 24% think of themselves as modern, fashionable, or gadget lovers. And that's so easy to do. And dads are very loyal to their brands that they know and trust. And so here are the top 10 most trustworthy brands that dads love things from. Starting at number 10, Harley Davidson.
Obvious.
So here's a hat, Dad. It says Harley Davidson on it. Cobalt.
Okay, yeah.
Tools. Levi's. Lego.
Yes.
Lexus.
Maybe next year.
Again, maybe a hat. iPad. An iPad. Netflix.
Yeah.
Nike. So we start talking about they don't want clothes, but Nike, and number 2 is Under Armour.
Yeah.
And number 1 is Apple.
So you could buy him an Under Armour tie.
Yeah,
and he would be okay.
He would love it. He would wear that every day because it's got Under Armour on it, or Nike, or something like that. They like that, and Levi's great. Harley Davidson. 28% of dads say that they buy these top brands without any concern for the price. And that,
what do you want for Father's Day?
I don't know. I don't want anything.
Really?
I really
Not
don't
even
want
dinner?
anything. Well, I'll
with
eat.
the kids? No, but dinner with like a family dinner, as they said.
Yeah, that'd be great, but it can't happen. I know it can't happen. Steph's in Toronto, and Andrew works, and and I know what it is. I guess it's one of these things where I'm in that lull where my children are grown. We've had lots of time together. I love them dearly, and I know that, so they don't love me anymore, and I don't love them anymore come Sunday, and I'm in the lull before the grandchildren, if they show up. So I'm really in the desert period of my fatherhood. Where I've done all the fathering I'm going to do.
All right.
But I have this pent-up grandfatherliness in me that I can't wait to come out, which is going to be like, give me the baby, I'm going for a walk. And I'm just going to talk to you, where have you been? I've wanted you for so long. I thought I would never have you. And then I smell the diaper, and that's like, okay, I got to go back and give you to your parents now. But yeah, so I'm in that lull. But anyway, so I don't really know what I want. I'm sure they'll get me fun things, and that's great. I hope so.
But you want a grandbaby, is what you're saying.
Yes. You know what I want?
That's what you want for Father's Day.
More than anything is I want a grandbaby for my wife. Right? Dads, do we know what we're talking about? Yes.
It sounds like you want a grandbaby for you.
You need to make your mother a grandmother. Please. Please, please. That's what I want. It would make her so happy.
Well, maybe one day.
And I remember when I was being the youngest of my oldest brother and his wife, she started saving the McDonald's toys that would come in.
Yep.
She would literally go to McDonald's because she's a slight woman anyway. She would never eat the big meals. So she would intentionally buy
Happy Meals
and save the toys for eventually when she became a grandmother. I think by the time she became a grandmother, and if I'm lying, I don't think I am, she had 4 totes
of toys.
Worth of toys from McDonald's. And here comes Adam, who is their first grandchild and our godson. And I know that he's got to be like 26 or 27 now. But yeah, here's 4 totes worth of toys. Knock yourself out, Adam.
Well, you know what? That's being prepared.
And
That's
now they've got 7 grandkids.
There you go.
Pretty well.
See?
Yeah. So anytime, whenever that happens, the children aren't really prepared in life, but who is to have a child? That would just make
you're never prepared for a child.
Mrs. Philbin so happy.
But it's funny because Chris Pratt, there was something just came out about that, saying that you shouldn't wait.
No, get 'em.
You should, once you find the right person, yes, it's important to have the right partner in life. But once you have that person, don't wait. Have kids.
Get the kids.
Yep.
Because it is, come on.
It's so worth it.
In our society, from the way movies go and jokes and television and everything, we say, kids, they're great.
Yeah. I've never said that.
Thing.
I've never
it's
said
the
that.
thing. It's the joke, but
I've always said the most important role I will have in my life is a mother.
Yeah,
and that will be the best thing I will ever do.
And the fact that we say this on a podcast is going to make people roll their eyes because they think they're supposed to be against that now, that we're all supposed to be the individual and go out. It's like, nope, sorry. I was an individual for a while, and now I've got a far more important job, and that's getting these 2 off and going. Even though they're adults, I'm still dad.
Oh, you
still
always
be
will
around. Always be dad.
Yep.
And like I say, your dad texted this morning. So celebrate that this weekend with Father's Day. Next week, there's a big event going on with the United Way, the Day of Caring.
And from the United Way, joining us again, Jennifer Smith, to give us all the details.
Day of Caring is such a big part of what the United Way wants to do in the community. We know about the fundraising aspect, but to be able to watch how your dollars build this community is a remarkable thing with the Day of Caring.
Oh, for sure. Yes, we're so excited next week on June 22nd. It's our annual Day of Caring, proudly presented by Welch LLP and Loyalist College. So last year we had around 150 volunteers complete about 30 projects. And this year, you won't believe it, we have 260 workplace volunteers that will be completing close to 40 projects this year.
Wow.
That's more than 100 more than last year. And so we were not anticipating that huge influx. It's a wonderful problem to have. But as you can imagine, these sort of things are not possible without our incredible partners. Quinny Mall and Feta and Olive are taking care of the lunch and hosting our morning kickoff. And we've had businesses like Dibbits and Debris Site Services step forward, donating like mulch and supplies and mini X's and whatever is needed for these projects, because it's not just painting and landscaping. That's a number of the projects are, but it's fixing, it's building, it's organizing, and so it takes a huge collaborative effort to make these sort of things possible. And basically, all of these workplace volunteers are going to be completing much needed work at not-for-profits that would not have the resources to otherwise complete these projects.
Yeah, so, Jennifer Smith of the United Way with the Day of Caring.
I'm glad you got a little more specific there, because I think most people do think maybe, much, and I'm throwing Habitat for Humanity in there, much like building or repairing, but it's a lot of little jobs that these volunteers will be doing. Do you know what we're going to be doing? Can we have a hint as to where you're putting our Starboard team?
Well, it's so funny because, one of the questions we often ask workplace teams is, what's your skill level? Which sort of projects are you most comfortable completing? So, I guess I have a question for Mark. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, like, what's your comfort level with working with a hammer and a drill?
10.
Really? Come on.
11.
Be honest.
I'm a solid 3.5.
A solid 3.5. Well, that's what waivers are for, and that's why we have you sign them.
With supervision.
Okay.
We're so happy to have you guys on board. We will have you paired with a rewarding project. We are still working out the final details, but we'll make sure to get you an update as soon as possible. Maybe you can talk about it on air. But what we do know is you will be hands-on June 22nd, right in the dirt, right in the work, helping to be a part of the solution, and we cannot thank you both enough for helping us out, and we'll take a lot of great photos, and hopefully you can report back. Can I do one other shameless plug? If you don't mind?
Oh my gosh.
Okay. We're all about it.
Again, so we were mentioning that it takes partners, to make this all possible, volunteers just like you guys who are going to be helping us. We are in need of a couple of items that we're currently seeking, to help us with a couple of projects that we can rent and borrow. And so right now, at last check, we're in need of 2 power washers to borrow and also 1 leaf blower. So if anyone in our community has one that they're willing to loan us, or a company that could loan us, we promise to keep good care of it. We will label it and we will get it right back to you, but those are a couple of things that we're in need of for the 22nd.
How strong a power washer do you need? Because I can drag mine out of my garage.
The stronger, the better.
Okay, well, no, I have a household one.
Perfect.
So it can make things wet. I don't know how strong a power washer you need. Some of those industrials.
Well, you always need the rinse before the power washing.
Right.
So maybe you could be the pre-rinse.
So I'm like a good firm bucket. That's what it's like. It's about the strength of mine. Jennifer Smith of the United Way, if anybody wants to help out with that and get any more details, how can they contact you?
Absolutely. So you can check out our website, unitedwayhpe.ca, or contact us right here at the office if you do have something that you might be interested in loaning, 613-962-9531.
United Way's Day of Caring coming up Thursday, June 22nd. Jennifer, we are so excited and really looking forward to being a part of it, yes, and can't wait to hear what we're going to be doing. I can't wait to see Mark with a hammer. That'll be interesting.
Me too. We're very excited. We're going to pair him with the most difficult project possible.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
The challenge has been set.
It's going to be great.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Why do I have the sneaking suspicion that I may get hurt next week?
Well, maybe I need to get you a hard hat.
Hard hat.
I can get everybody to sign it for you if you want.
Let's keep Mark away from electricity and water.
Oh, it's
Looking forward to it. It's going to be great. Can't wait to find out where we are.
I know.
Because as I've told you, it tends to be organizations that are not in their wheelhouse. Like one of the best I ever saw was a group of about 6 Ontario Hydro workers delivering Meals on Wheels.
So we won't be at a radio station, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to put us anywhere where we, for example, have to read to children or do things that a communicator would do.
Is that part of it, reading to children?
I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? I have no idea where we're going to be going. I know it's
love reading to
a lot
children.
of gardening. There's been like
I love gardening.
Let's put it this way: property maintenance, and sometimes it's beautifying, sometimes it's repairing, sometimes it's just cleaning, sometimes it's just preparing property or things like that.
Oh, I hope so. I love that.
But what tends to happen after the lunch, then we get back and everybody starts talking about where they were, and virtually everybody says, "I had no idea that there was that need out there."
I believe
we assume that I make my donation to the United Way and they use the money to do all of this stuff. They use the money for the programs, you're absolutely right. But if the windows break or the taps don't work well, the money doesn't go for that. The money goes for the programs within the organizations. And if the organizations have to raise money for their own infrastructure, they do that on their own. And when you get there, people are like, I'll help you with that leaky tap. Okay, good, because we couldn't afford to bring somebody in. Like I said, I worked with people from RBC in Trenton that went and cleaned up a bathroom, and I think it was a little bit of plumbing. And they said the light was so dark. She said, I just took down a light fixture out of my bathroom in my home that is better. And to me, it was an old light fixture that I wanted replaced, and it's still better than the one in your bathroom where they had this program. And ashamed isn't the right word, but she was like, I just assume that people have all of this stuff, and they don't. So she went home after this lunch. I heard about it afterwards because I checked in with her. And they went back in the afternoon, the same 3 women, and put that one up. And yes, it's a little bit older, but it was so much brighter and better. Because they're not using the money on that.
No.
If you make a donation, it's going to the programs. It's not going to beautify places or paint parking spots or do anything
easy. It's to run the program.
It's to run the program and help the community. And you really see that when you get out there. So Day of Caring next Thursday is a real cool day. So far, 260 people, roughly?
267, I believe, volunteers, 27 different organizations are sending folks, so including ours. So we will be out there next Thursday.
And every once in a while, you'll get 2 different groups of people at the same spot because the project is so big. So it could be competitive. We'll find out.
Oh, good.
Early in the week.
I'm glad that that's been worked into it.
Jennifer will be in touch with us and let us know where we will be. But once again, if you're listening to the podcast and you have a high-pressure pressure washer and a leaf blower, they already know they need some help with that. So they don't have to, again, spend the money. They could be going to help programs.
To rent it or to find another way to get it.
Believe me, they'll look after it. If contact Jennifer, she'll give you details on that. So coming up tomorrow on the show is Jody Jenkins, golf guy on the show tomorrow?
I believe so. We'll be speaking with Jody about his big event coming up this summer.
Endless summer and the World's Long Drivers Championship. Well, it's not the actual Worlds, but all the competitors are going to be here.
Some pretty great golfers.
Biggest fields around the world that are coming in. And it's happening right here in our own backyard. The Abrams are going to be performing. It's a golf tournament, all raising money for Grace and Shelter. So Jody's going to be on the show during the U.S. Open, which tees off today. So more with the golf guy coming up tomorrow morning. Dad joke?
Dad joke tomorrow?
Father's Day?
I don't know. You tell me. I'm assuming it's a Father's Day joke.
That is. No.
Yes. I got to come up. Oh, crap. Yes. I got to come up with my dad jokes tomorrow.
Because we're going to have a rip and read set of a dad joke riff off.
I totally
tomorrow.
Forgot.
Line after line after line, right?
Sure.
So we'll do that tomorrow at 8:50. Okay. So that everybody can say, oh, thank God.
So even if I forget tomorrow morning, I have the morning to do it.
Yeah, and I have more than enough to cover for you. Don't worry about it. I've been compiling them all week.
I asked you, and you said no. You weren't doing that.
I didn't say no. I said get your own, which is sort of the same thing. Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast coming up tomorrow morning. Join us on 95.5 Hits FM. Have a great day.